What up, it's your boy Dick Incredible, and this is Tracker Episode 4, titled Mount Shasta, and honestly, in my opinion, the best episode. Let's talk about it.
Headed out for change, I just started on my quest. Yeah, the world will know my name, I'm excited, I'm obsessed. No one in my way but myself and a test. Yeah, I will be the best, yeah, I will be the best. Life is just a game, I'll be playing till I rest. I'll be there to claim my own spot among the best.
This episode was the best in my opinion, and I'm gonna stand my ground on that. Now, some of the others may be better as we go forward, but right now, episode 4, it kind of hit it out the park right after episode 1 with that pilot, kind of getting you thrown into this world. But episode 4 is sitting right at the top, and then is 1, and then I possibly go maybe 3 and then 2. I don't know, but 4 is definitely at the top. Now, this episode, we're in Mount Shasta, California, where we start the episode. We see Noah is being tracked and hunted through the woods, and dude is kind of handling his own a little bit. He's hiding under some brush and stuff, so big ups on him. But that's where we get the episode really kicking off. We see this kid's mother, Noah's mother, trying to find out what actually happened to her son, because he's at this school that's it's like a wilderness school, but also for wayward kids that's had a little bit of problems in their life. And I feel like it's a pretty decent thing when you think about it. It's training them just the way Coulter was trained. What I really liked about this episode is because although every week we see each case kind of sort of relays to what Coulter went through with his life and even his personal life in present day, but this episode, I feel like all that kind of got shot to the back burner, and we really kind of got the title of this episode. Like with the show being Tracker, we got a lot of tracking this episode, and I feel like the stakes are a little bit higher as well. Now, I'm sure we had some death in episodes 2 and 3 and some murder going on, but I feel like the stakes were so much higher in this episode, and they really pulled me in, if I'm being honest. I mean, from the beginning of the episode, us seeing Noah and him running through the forest, us being a part of that, and then us seeing Coulter working with the kid's mother and Rainey, which appeared again, that kind of, it showed us enough to where we could be involved, and it kind of felt like we were on that journey as well. Normally, you come in and you solve the cases, and I feel like this week we get to see Coulter in a different light, because he's not really so much heavily focused on his own baggage, because there's a time frame to find this kid, and like I said, the stakes are really high. Honestly, there was a little bit of a twist, because for 100%, I thought we see Coulter going to the school with Rainey and the kid's mother, trying to find out some stuff, because they keep giving this lady the runaround about her son. She can't get a hold of him, and the school is pretty much basically covering their own, butts to be safe. But I love the fact that although Coulter came in, with a chip on his shoulder, because he doesn't really trust the school as of right now, because he had his own demons to fight with, being thrust upon in the wilderness and stuff like that. And the school did kind of seem like a prison. But Rainey came in there with that legal jargon, like threatening lawsuits left and right. But like I said, the stakes were so much higher this episode, and we see them trying to figure out what actually happened to this kid. And for the first time, in my opinion, ever since that very first episode, it feels like we got the whole tracking aspect. Episodes 2 and 3, sure, they really didn't really feel like the whole tracker aspect. He felt more like a typical bounty hunter in my opinion. He was just looking for some people, or like a private eye or a detective or something like that. But this week, Coulter really felt like how the title in the show kind of expands on who he is. He felt like a real tracker, and us being with him and being pulled into it, getting to see it all unfold, I feel like that is how this episode really expanded and became the best episode, in my opinion. Us being with Coulter, where he's tracking down the kid, trying to get a little bit more information, and actually being thrust in the forest, having to follow footsteps and blood trails and all the other stuff. This is why we came to this show. Like, not to knock the other episodes, but this is why we came to this show, to find the tracking stuff. That's what we were here for. And long story short, there was a twist. I mean, it wasn't a big twist, a little minor, brief twist, but to realize that the kid was in school, he met a girl, of course, and he wasn't going to tell his mom everything. What teenage boy tells his mom everything? But the fact that they kind of got involved with someone that was a drug dealer supplying drugs to kids nonetheless, and just dealing drugs in general, how did they see that playing out? I didn't understand that, but I love the twist aspect about the school not being responsible, because the school was good for the kid. The mom even explained that, as the episode progressed. I really love that some kids aren't really rocking with it, but finding out Noah being out there in the wilderness, surviving on his own for a day while being hunted, the school kind of came. The school kind of came into play a little bit, and I like that the school wasn't responsible for what happened. Even after we got the information about one of the teachers sneaking Noah off the campus to see his girlfriend and everything, and kind of got him involved with this drug dealer. I like that the school wasn't involved with it, and that the school was there legitimately to help. And even the head security guy, it was helping Coulter track Noah in the forest, and then they came across the other guy. Like, I love how this episode went down. Sure, the stakes were a little bit higher, but in the long run, everything kind of worked out in the end. And I love seeing Renee and Coulter work together. And Coulter was really putting on his stuff this episode, man. Like I said, the tracking aspect really highlighted it, and that's why we came to this show. Like, we came for that aspect, and they really gave us that this episode, and that's why episode 4, aka Mount Shasta, is number 1 for me. But like I said, Renee and Coulter having their will they won't they moments yet again. It's kind of floating out there in the air. We don't know when it's gonna happen, but with Coulter constantly bumping into Renee, I'm excited to see where that's going to play out. But we know Coulter's a little bit of a playboy as well. He's getting all these other women and all these other times. But I tell you, but it was nice to see everybody kind of really putting their best foot forward. I do like each week how we kind of get the whole gang involved. Bobby, Teddy, Velma, everybody's kind of putting their best foot forward. And sometimes Coulter is a little bit over his head, but everybody has his back, man. I really like that. The episode itself was great in the whole. Like I said, I felt like this was the best episode in the series thus far for me. And that we really got that full-fledged tracking experience this episode, man. And I just enjoyed it. This is Woodick Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button. You can't smash any more. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them and subscribe. Peace out.
Cause I've been working a lot. I think I deserve a shot. I think I deserve a spot. Cause it's been years on this path that I walked. And if I keep going, I pray I'll be at the top.